Hey guys, it's Camper Dad. This morning I decided to make some oatmeal, strawberries and cream oatmeal. I've already loaded 2 trays worth. I'm going to put them in the freezer, but I had to make a little bit more to finish it out. So I'll put the recipe in the video, but essentially for every cup of oats there was 3/4 cup of milk, and then 2 to 4 strawberries depending on the size that I cut down to 1/4-inch chunks, and a pinch of salt to make sure that the oats can absorb the flavor. A teaspoon and a half of granulated sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. We tried it this morning to make sure we perfected the recipe. Hopefully you can hear over the freeze dryer. I'll try and clean it up as best I can. But in all, there's going to be 12 cups of oats in this, and we've determined that 1/2 cup of oats is pretty good breakfast in this recipe, which means that there's 24 servings now that I'm freeze drying. This will be a fun one to try later. My boys love to go buy the Great Value peaches and cream and strawberries and cream packets and eat those for breakfast, especially when we're out camping or even at home. So I figured I could just get a huge bucket of rolled oats, some strawberries, and a gallon of milk, and we can make 24 of our own packets for pretty cheap. So hopefully you can see this. I'll take some pictures and put them in the video. I'm excited for this one. Okay, the freeze dryer says that our oatmeal is done. It was 36 hours, just a little bit over 36 hours to finish this much oatmeal. And it appears that the ice is just starting to form around into where the trays are. So I think that I reached the point of where if I'd done more food in there, the ice would have started sublimating or freeze drying again, which would have made the process just keep running and running and running. So I'm going to release the vacuum and check the oatmeal, make sure that it's dry. Take a piece right out of the middle here. Yes, I would say it's dry. I would also say that it needs some water. Or at least I would need a drink of water. Let me check one more tray. One of the ways that you can tell whether the food is dry is if it's cold. Now, granted, if your freeze dryer has been sitting freezing, but if you pull it out right at when the freeze dryer says it's done, it should be warm. If it's cold and you feel ice, then you know it's not quite done. However, I would say that it is dry and done. So I'm going to turn the freeze dryer off, and I'm going to now put this in storage bags. So I've got 24 servings now of oatmeal, strawberries and cream oatmeal that I made, and I will share the recipe with you in this video, and I'll show you some pictures of it dry as well. So I decided to test the oatmeal to show you what it was like after all. So I pulled one of the packets out that I had made, and I'm gonna eat it for breakfast this morning. It's kind of a satisfying release of air there. All right, so you can probably see oatmeal's in these chunks here. There's a strawberry, very tempting to eat. So I had figured out that I needed 5 ounces. I've got some of 5 ounces of water. I have some water that was boiling just a moment ago. So I am going to measure out 5 ounces of it. I'll pour that in, and let me see if I can stir it up a little bit before I cover it. I don't know if you saw it turn milky because there was a lot of milk in this. I'm going to cover it, let it sit for a minute, and then I'm going to try and eat it. It started reconstituting really, really fast. Some foods take a few minutes. The oatmeal happened really fast. The strawberries, I don't know. I guess I'm going to find out here in just a moment. All right, the oatmeal's been sitting for a couple of minutes. I'm going to see what it's like so far. Still a couple of pieces that were clumped together. So I'll break them apart. And just to make sure that those ones get enough water reconstituted, I'm going to cover it just for another minute. Okay, I'm thinking it's probably pretty close to done here. Let's see if I can show you anything up close. Nice and creamy. I'm gonna see how it tastes now. I'm just gonna give it one more minute. There's still a little bit that wasn't fully rehydrated. And this might actually be a case of if you put it on the stovetop in a pot, or when in a even something like this, and cover it and simmer it for just a few minutes, it probably will happen faster. Probably if I didn't have this glass dish sitting on a cold desktop here, also that might have helped. Oh yeah, that is so much better than the packets that you can get at the store. Creamy, and I can taste the strawberries. So good. I'll bet that there's a lot more sugar in the ones in the that you get at the store. I guess I'll have to research that and find out, but this definitely was something that I'm glad that I now have in my food storage to use anytime, whether it's an emergency or just whether it's like this where I haven't had breakfast yet and I need something pretty quick. So I would recommend it. Go back and find the recipe earlier in the video, and you saw how well it reconstituted. This is one that you should definitely do in your freeze dryer.